Welcome to day 8 of our 30-day scalable telematics challenge. And today we want to talk about diversion detection systems, whether you're using a manual or automated approach. I'm going to deep dive into what to do because it's a big issue in the industry. And this is so important. You see, every time a truck leaves its routes, your brand, your SLA, and your profit margin takes a hit. So the big question is, why aren't you catching it in real time? And I'm going to help you understand that here. Now, let's explain what diversion is. Diversion is one of the most costly but preventable failures in logistics operations, whether it's unapproved detours, unauthorized offloading, or a simple GPS error. Diversion destroys SLAs, compliance, and accountability. So today we're going to be exploring the manual science of diversion and how to automate detection using geofence logs, GPS logs, and route templates. But you want to know what counts as diversion, right? So let me make it simple. A driver goes to a location not part of the approved routes. You're going to Abuja and you're seeing the vehicle in Lagos Island, not part of the approved route, or it passes through another longer route to get to Abuja. Maybe it doesn't even end up getting to Abuja. That's diversion there, right? What counts as diversion is missed delivery point. You're sent to point A, you delivered at point B. That's diversion. Or change delivery sequence, or stopping in high risk zones, or extended stop durations of routes. That counts as diversion. So what are the manual diversion detection signs? So delay in expected arrival at customer site. A journey that should naturally take 2 to 3 days is taking longer. It's just a sign there is possible diversion taking place. Or the trip route doesn't just match loading advice. This is where we sent you to. You didn't just pass through the approved route. Where did you go to? Or the driver confirms a different location that he delivered the goods to. That's diversion, right? Or you look at the map history and instead of seeing the movement of the vehicle, you are seeing zigzag on the map or extended detours. Or there is inconsistent timestamps between systems and the tracking system. That's a manual detection of diversion maps. How do you detect it? Automated. How do you automate diversion control systems? One is to build geofences, right? Geofence will auto detect when a vehicle enters the perimeter, the borderlines design or not. And then you want to, what I use, create pre-configured routes. So every time the vehicle doesn't go through that route, you get a notification. And then you want to also get live alerts, right? Notifications on diversion in real time. And then you have somebody checking that out. And then you have escalation metrics. You set rules for the alerts. And then the alerts are just not just alerts sitting on the system. They are investigated and reported in real time. And then you must have what I call a response framework. So once you have detected a diversion, step 1 is to detect it real time, right? Then step 2 is to verify. You call the driver, right? You check the database, you check wherever this vehicle is going to. And then step 3 is to escalate to the client or to the control room. And then step 4 is to log it in so that you can build trend analysis. Remember the control room approach. You build trends and patterns so that you can understand what is happening in your business and your operations. That is your response framework for diversion. Now, diversion doesn't just break the routes, it breaks trust. And in logistics, trust is a currency you don't want to mess with. So what I want you to do immediately, okay? Audit 3 recent trips. And the questions you want to answer while you're doing that is to check, were any of these routes inconsistent? Were there delays or were there missed geofences? So pick those trips and then you find out whether there was diversion or not in your operations. And then you build a framework for response to those escalations. Thank you for joining me today. See you in our next video.